My Planet Coaster parks normally look like this, so it's about time I get on building a realistic park. So that's what I set out to do in this new series of episodes in which I'm building Cross World Park. In this series, I'll be talking over a time-lapse of me building the park, much like the YouTuber Digital 10 does. And so, much like other YouTubers, why not steal the entire concept? I'll also be going in real time at the end of each episode to show progress from the ground. Although, not for this episode, since you kind of see everything in the time-lapse already, and it's only the entrance. So we'll save that for future episodes. Enjoy the video. Okay, here we are in the first episode of this new series. Cross World Park, yeah, that's going to be the name of this park. And I've decided not to add any parking lots. Because I hate them. I think it's a waste of space. Maybe I'll get to a point that I have too many objects and I wish I would have made a parking lot, but yeah, I just don't like them. People come out of buses, yeah, sure. I do want to make the place where the people spawn a bit better, a bit more natural, I guess. So that's what I'm doing here. And as the name of the park may suggest, it will be like a studios park, but of my favorite franchises. By doing this, I think I will have more motivation and inspiration to finish an area faster, get more videos out, and complete the park. So if you want to know what the first area will be, keep watching till the next episode, of course, and just don't miss the next video. With this park, I kind of went in blindly. I knew I wanted to make a studios theme park, but how it would look like, I just didn't know yet. So I just started placing trees, basically, and of course deciding not to build a parking lot. And for the entrance as well, I just decided to start placing walls and begin somewhere, and I think it eventually turned out pretty good, but you'll see that in a bit. Just some rocks, and I also decided to let the path go a bit narrower so you wouldn't see kind of everything what's happening back there. I think it turns out pretty good. Works, of course. I wanted to make this park pretty detailed, so I don't really want you to see what's going on behind the trees from the spawn locations. And yeah, here I start making the paths. The first bit of path you saw there with the arches, I messed up so many times I couldn't edit it right, so that's just there now, just accept it. And leading up to the entrance, kind of try to make it like the typical Disney entrance where you have a couple paths going around, or at least I kind of see many people do that, so why not me as well. Not a really big pre-entrance square, not even a big entrance, you'll see that, but there will be more space for the theme park. Also weird pathing glitch again, happens sometimes. And of course an extra stamp delete there, make it all look nice. And yeah, then I started decorating the sides, kind of the same as you just saw, but with more rocks, of course, to just kind of make a natural barrier for the path and clear out the greenery, or at least greenery, not a greenery, the green floor. Yeah, that's going pretty well. So I'm excited for this series. I have quite a few ideas for what kind of franchises I want to put in this park, and I got some good ideas for attractions, so I'm really excited to start building them. But first I gotta go through the first few episodes to get on building that entrance area and plaza, I guess. I haven't really decided yet what kind of central area I want to make. Maybe more like Disney with their castle building, although I won't be building a castle, but like with a big square and just 3 or 4 ways out of there to different areas. Or if I want to make a big lake like most of the Universal parks, or just something completely else. I mean, if you have an idea, please let me know in the comments. Because I hate asking ChatGPT. I'm not doing that. No, of course the other side I cut a little bit out because it's just the same. Some more rocks and of course some more trees. And after that I think I'll be continuing on to the build. I actually made a big path out of the square you kind of see behind me now. But I decided that was going to be, the entrance was not going to be in the right position for the rest of the park. And it was going to be too little space on the left of the entrance to be able to make a area. So I decided not to. I could, of course, have made parking lots, but I hate them, you already know. Of course, before I start building the entrance, I got a plaza to decorate. Totally forgot. So, that's what I'm doing here. Just getting some planters in the center bit there. You see that quite a bit in theme parks and just in parks in general. I really wanted to line up perfectly. So focus there. And of course, this is the first, not the first attempt of a theme park, but an attempt I'm willing to take further than previous attempts I've done in my free time. And I hope this is going well. I think this is going to go well because I'm quite excited for the rides. I got some ideas and I kind of want to build them. And I want the Planet Coaster guests to actually enjoy them. Here some flowers, of course, in the flower bed there has to be flowers. Of course, I mean, why would you have a flower bed without flowers? That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, if you've actually been following my channel for a longer time, you know I had another series named Quick Coasters. I don't think I'm going to continue with that. I think episode 9 might be the last one, or I just have to get an idea that's so good that I really want to make it into an episode. But yeah, that's kind of naturally come to an end, I guess. Some of these kind of flowers, I kind of like them. They look cool. And a little taller one in the center kind of makes it more leveled. And then I think, I'm going to start moving on to the little 2 extra patches of space I got there. So I decided to make a little border around these patches as well. I already made some plants inside of there. I kind of forgot to record that. Excuse me for that. And I decided to go for these little walls because I didn't know what to put in as a border. I tried columns and stuff like that, but it kind of looked unrealistic. And I kind of want to go for the same style as the planters in the center. So these little walls were my biggest friend. And of course I put them all around. And to save you some struggle, I just got to the end of the time lapse of that because, it's just boring to watch me placing walls all around the border. But sure. I decided, it's kind of empty. It has a cool center, but it's empty. So let's fill it up. And I did not know with what. So I tried 10 different things, kind of. So I went with these flowers eventually. That's mainly the struggle I had here has just been cut out because I want to save you your time a little bit. And I've just decided to go with this. But I also changed this at the very end of this time lapse because the ground coloring kind of vanished. And I like that as well. So I did the same thing to the other side. And I also added these little flowerless plants, which are the same kind as you see more in this build. So I'm doing the same thing here, but with rocks. Oh yeah, I added rocks. I just totally forgot about it. I added rocks. And then of course I did it to the outside and I started deleting some of the things, making it more like patches. That's kind of what I meant with at the end of the time lapse. So yeah. And there we go. We're starting on making the entrance area. And as I said already, this is on the left side of the park where I first decided to build the entrance and eventually just moved it back. This pathing actually, it just gets deleted, but sure. Decided to change the color of the white columns because otherwise it would be like a temple and I don't want a temple as an entrance. That's more for a themed area. I don't really have to say much about it. It kind of speaks for itself. I try to layer the building. So you kind of have a lighter color at the bottom or a darker color. Most of the time lighter though. And then you have a darker color at the top. And that's what I decided to do with this. Also with 2 different types of walls, of course, and moving the top layer of the build back. But you'll see that in a bit. Through this entire time lapse, I make plenty of changes to this build, and it looks eventually not completely different, but quite different to the first bits what you're seeing here. So yeah, placing some walls, which I will put a meter higher, I think, in a bit, because yeah, just it was needed. If I looked at it from a distance, eventually I decided, yeah, it just has to be higher. Some columns on there because I want to have some pillars and some arches over the pathway there. So I decided not to go with a stone or a square arch, not a stone arch, square arch. And it's actually just stone, but sure. Yeah, so more circular arch. It's not really circular, it's more octagonal, but sure. So yeah, because I wanted to section the building, I needed some kind of divider. My first choice was this brick, but I ended up removing that. So yeah, me searching 10,000 things got quite fast if you kind of speed up the gameplay. Takes way longer to search for a good object in the game itself. But yeah, I decided to change the colors of the pillars to more a brick color, which gives it that authentic Disney look, I guess. They kind of have that with many of the parks. And there you go. I cut and everything is gone, and I placed the arches. So yeah, I moved it to the plaza I made before, and I continued building there. And I also decided to remove the brick dividers that I was just placing. I decided to go for the Greek columns, which just blended way nicer. Happy I did that. And then I had to, kind of get around these arches, which you see there. I'm trying the little wall pieces to clear all the gaps and not let it look stupid. So yeah, again, really precise work there. Decided to make it small, but then I thought, no, I can also just copy the arches one back, so I don't have to make it smaller. So that's exactly what I did. And there we go. Now we can just fit it all in. I always prefer to use like angle snap for, or at least distance snap for things like this, but most of the time that's too precise for the distance snap. It only goes to 25 centimeters. So I just have to do it with my eye, and then it turns out worse. But yeah, you can still place it so good that you just don't see the difference. And this is something I do more. I try to copy most of the things when I have to build it twice, so I don't have to do double work. And yeah, here I decided to add another row. And that's a good choice because otherwise, the wall would be the pillar, I guess. And that's okay because I'm still adding pillars to the corners, but not with the arch. I thought that looked stupid. So yeah, I just went for the more round bottom. And yeah, of course I added more pillars on top of each other because the building is getting taller. It all makes sense. And then I once again decided to do something with a square pole. Didn't take long, and I eventually just decided to just copy the Greek column or the castle. Oh, it's actually a castle decoration. Learning something every day. Yeah, of course that had to be topped off. Yeah, this is too Greek. And this is also Greek, but you can change the colors and double it on top of each other. There we go. That's what I mean. And then it doesn't look that bad or that heavily themed. Also, I changed the color. And now I'm building the ceiling, or at least a little bit of the ceiling, to place the second floor on there. I tried making a third floor, but then, the building just kind of got repetitive and too big. I guess too big. And it just didn't look good. So, I don't know why I flipped the walls around, probably to get more space on that ridge there, but it didn't matter much. I don't know why I'm struggling, to be honest with you. It's just I ended up doing the same thing as I had before. So yeah. Now I'm placing I placed the decorations on the sides as well. and I extended the pillars. Something else I do with builds is I section the builds vertically. So I add pillars in this case to section areas to make like a window in one area, something in the other area. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. And I decided to go for these brick things. And then I did something stupid, trying to make the top of it a different color, but I could just change the color of the pillars, which is exactly what I did. As you can see, it's a little stupid mistake of me, but yeah. And now I'm placing walls to match the height of the pillars and to kind of get a roof over that wall, so the roof kind of sticks out more, gets more depth, of course. That's kind of the whole goal with this build, creating more depth so it looks better. And I choose to go for this orange roof. It matches the style right. It's a good color for the rest of the build. I mean, the bricks are kind of orange as well. So yeah, of course it matches. And this roof wasn't steep enough, so I decided to go for the 4-meter roof. I guess, yeah, it's 4 meters because it goes 4 meters up. Yeah. I eventually ended up placing the front of the building more to the front. That sounds weird, double front. But yeah, it created more depth, so it's cool. And here I add a little bit of a support for the roof. Although it's also kind of to fill up the gap in between the roof and the walls. Yeah, so that's basically this layer. I also added a different layer for that. I don't think you'll be seeing that here. Oh yeah, no, you don't see it yet. But you do see me extending the roof here. Not too far, of course, so just right away the corners. And yeah, this is just basically building a roof. Nothing special. Is it the front already extended? No, okay, right here I extended it. You could see that there, just in the corner of your eye if you looked. I extended the front forward because yeah, otherwise it just didn't look good. Weird to have a overhang that big without supporting anything, or at least without it being supported by anything. And these are the layers I talked about a bit earlier. Kind of to clear a gap, or to fill a gap. And that's how it looks so far. Of course, we're not done yet. I decided to make it a little bit narrower, I guess, in order to not have to decorate the inside that much, to be honest with you. I decided here to add a little bit of a extra detail on the center line of these castle things. Extra depth, of course, always the goal. And yeah, that's basically what I did with this. I also added windows, see right there, just on two sides of the building, on this side and on the other side. Yeah, and yeah, it was kind of only the only window that fits there. And of course, roof decorations. I decided to go for those things, and I made them double so it looks kind of like a 3D star. And the next step, of course, is adding the name of the park on the walls. And yeah, I think this looked pretty great, and it's pretty good that the name of the park, Crossworld Park, is 3 words, and I could put them all on a different wall. I tried to do the 3D ladder things. Of course, they're 3D because we're in a 3D game, but with a little shadow. I had to figure out how to do that properly. Yeah, I think it's done great. So, of course, cross. Now we have world. And, of course, park. Yeah, and I, of course, want all of them at the same line. So I first snapped them so they all got on the same line, and then I kind of squished them together. So that's how I did this. Yeah, there we go, world. And then the last one, of course, park. There we go. I already thought. When do I start? But we're good. Yeah, now it's just park, but it's just to outline them as I just said. And because the letters just look a little empty on the walls, I decided to underline them. And I did that with these poles. Yes, I don't know what they are originally. I think just a metal pole, and I just added them there. And for the center one, I want to do something different. So I choose to go kind of for the same metal vibe, but just one straight line. As you can see right here, I'm adding what is it? It goes fast, I can see. So some kind of metal pole thing as well, but without the little knobs. And there we go. Yeah, that's kind of the building. The back of it I haven't shown because it's kind of repetitive. I will show that at the end of the video a little bit more. But first the part thing. And yes, it's kind of straightforward. Although the pets do make turns sometimes. I know, pretty good joke. And of course mirrored, so doesn't always go first try well. But you can see that it's not mirrored enough. Now it is. And I do show you that I did build the back of this entrance, and I decided to go for a big window there. But we are running to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Hit the subscribe button if you did, and I'll see you in the next episode of Crosswell Park. And this is the entrance, how it looks now, and we're finishing the entire entrance bit in the next video. I'll see you then.